The LMI, or the Logistics Managers Index, reached an all-time low for the first time in the index's almost 7-year history in May, coming in at a reading of 47.3. Of the 8 subsets that make up the LMI, warehousing capacity was the only category that registered expansion growth. Transportation utilization and transportation prices recorded the fastest month-over-month change in contraction, with utilization dropping from a 55 in April to a 45.5 in May, and prices falling from a 36.8 in April to a 27.9 in May. May's reading for transportation prices marks the fastest rate of contraction the index has ever registered. As a comparison, May of 2022 posted an expansion rate of 65.3 and an expansion rate of 91.2 in May of 21. The extreme year-over-year rate of contraction indicative of a continued oversaturation of supply coupled with a return to normal demand landscape. On the supply side, transportation capacity for both upstream and downstream represent the greatest area of expansion in May, however has shown an ever so slight slowdown in the rate of expansion month over month. The ISM PMI, or the Purchasing Managers Index, is similar to the LMI, as anything over 50 represents growth and anything below 50 represents contraction. The PMI is a good indicator of economic activity in the domestic manufacturing realm, and overall this month remained relatively unchanged from April, posting a contraction rate of 46.9%. This is the 6th month of contraction in a row for the overall index, bringing the index's 12-month average down to a reading of 49.4. Some of the most important subsets of the index as they relate to transportation are customer inventories, new orders, backlog orders, and imports. According to the report, customer inventories for 8 of the 16 main industries being monitored reported that inventories are too high once future orders have been factored in. Only 4 reported inventories as being too low. Those are primary metals, food, beverage, and tobacco products, machinery, and chemical products, while the remaining 6 reported little to no change from April to May. Of the 10 subsets that make up the index, backlog orders for May represented the greatest rate of contraction. This is the 8th consecutive month of contraction for backlogs. Taking into consideration new orders contracting for the past 9 months and production near the break-even point, one may make the assumption that backlog orders will more than likely remain in heavy contraction territory for most industries for quite some time. Interestingly enough, of the 6th largest manufacturing indices tracked by the PMI, transportation equipment was the only one that registered growth in May. Imports remain in contraction territory as well and have been for the past 7 months, falling from a 47.3 in April to a 49.9 in May. This data comports well to FreightWave's inbound ocean TEU volume index, as import levels have remained below both 21 and 2022 levels for the entire year thus far. Imports are always an important metric to keep an eye on, as high import volumes are a good leading indicator of inventory replenishment that ultimately fuel truckload demand. This has been your Bridge Logistics market update for the week of June 12th, 2023.